Welcome to Climbing Clouds. I'm going to get right into a reading. And thank you so much for your likes and subscribes and all of the general support that you give as we build this channel. This channel is for expanding and connecting further with your creative journey. We each have our own profound and unique journey. And this is just an added support for that. Whatever it is that you do creatively, keep doing you, keep doing your best. Just cleansing the area with some rose, a little bit of clarifying oils, and some incense. Okay. Okay, let's see what spontaneous reading occurs. What the Spirit would like us to know as the creative collective today. And whenever you do connect with this reading, is when it's meant for you. There's no time in tarot. What does Spirit want us to know right now, particularly? Okay. We've got the Ten of Wands. We're starting off with the Ten of Wands energy. So, you see this woman, she's picking flowers that have really piled up on her back. And it can be an overwhelming sense of really deep immersion in whatever it is that you do. And, that you kind of got your up to your elbows in whatever it is that you do. So you might be feeling a little bit burned out today, or as you hear this reading. So this is what the Ten of Wands can kind of speak to burnout. We want to watch this. How can we balance this? Let's look into this. Okay, I'm going to put this up here as a reminder. I don't know if you can see that or not. We'll put it up here. Okay. Yeah, I've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is nice. Definitely a solid time for this passion project that you might be feeling actually overwhelmed with. You might be realizing, a lot of times when we get into something, it can be really unbalanced at first until we can figure out those nuances. Going fully into something, starting anything, like I'm applying this to anything, where this is a general reading for the general creative collective. So you can apply this to where it fits. The job that you're in the middle of, the family life that you're balancing, the relationship that you just started, the current relationship that you've been in for a long time and that you're renewing, the friendship that you stumbled upon this week, the adventure that you're on this week, the trip that you're taking. You might be feeling a level of burnout from trying to participate in the best way that you can, to keep up. And then the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded. And I'm asking, how can we balance this burnout energy? Because even when you're passionate about something, you can easily be off balance. So let's look into this. We're looking into how to balance the burnout. Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, number one, just as much as the Queen of Pentacles receives grace and abundance, much like the Empress. They're very similar, the energy. The Queen of Pentacles is very unique in how generous that energy can be too. And that generosity feeds a sense of giving and release, a sense of nurturing and tending to. So make sure that your giving and your taking are in balance. You might be on one side or the other of the teeter-totter, and it's time, as in the scales of Libra scales, or the scales of balance, to bring that into balance. And then we have the Knight of Wands. This is jumping through all the hoops to accomplish whatever it is you're accomplishing. This is having the stamina to keep moving forward and progressing and going after what you want, basically. So make sure your heart is in what you're doing too. The Knight of Wands always goes after what they want. It's the most pursuing energy in the tarot. It takes action on a very passionate outcome or a passionate goal. It's not afraid to go after what it wants, basically. The Knight of Wands. After what he wants, he or she. It doesn't have to be. There's also no gender in tarot. So, all right. I've got these coming out here. I've got the Five of Cups. This is disappointment. This is kind of feeling bogged emotionally. But then we also have the Sun. This is interesting. And the Queen of Cups. Okay. So you might be sifting through things that disappoint you, being aware of that emotionally, what brings that up for you, like triggers. But you are able to stay steadfast in a positive approach. The Sun is the most illuminating and positive card. So, so I see this fiery sense of awareness. The Sun being at the center of this reading is very positive. Being drawn to this card too. So we've got the Four of Pentacles, again, earth energy. This is kind of standing in your own, standing solidly despite disappointments, perhaps, So what you're immersing, what you are immersing yourself in, you have boundaries. There's a gate between you and the world. And these boundaries are here for a reason, on a very in a very solid sense. This is an earthy energy. But you're coming through as the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very caring, very nurturing. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups together. That's a really nurturing, abundant energy. And as the Sun, it's very confident. It's very progressive. It sees the truth. It's also very supportive and acknowledging. It's very all-encompassing, non-judgmental. It's very accepting. But there has been disappointment that you're aware of. That this might be just all of the disappointment, that the triggers in your life that bring this up for you. So it's kind of stating here, the sense of Four of Pentacles is stating to have solid, grounded boundaries with everybody and in every project, even with your own projects. You can give too much, or you can not give enough because you're holding back. So know those nuances and speak to yourself in a way that is respectful, so that you're not triggered by your disappointments or feeding the disappointments. Rather, you're setting boundaries to avoid the emotional disappointments. You're actually creating healthy boundaries with your time, with your schedule, with how much you're giving, how much you're taking, trying to keep that in balance. And then we have Temperance. This is all about balance. It's ruled by Sagittarius. It's the bird flying in one direction, the other one is landing, one is taking off, one is landing. It's the teeter-totter again. I keep getting a teeter-totter in my head for this reading. It's the balancing act of life. Okay. So, do you see the birds? This is a bird. This is a bird. I realize in looking over some of these videos that maybe I'm not showing you the cards close enough, so I'm going to work on that. Wow, this is really beautiful. So you're moving into from emotional disappointment to total emotional fulfillment. That's pretty exciting. This is another water-based card, water. You might have a lot of water. I know I personally do. I'm a Cancer. I'm on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. So I have a lot of air and water. Libra rising. And then I have Pisces in my chart too. So a lot of air and water. The air is mental, a lot of ideas, a lot of balance is important. But this water energy is coming through big time. So on an emotional level, where whatever you happen to, connect with, the water energy as 10 of Cups is your ultimate happiness. So just know that you are feeding this. This is your kind of like your ultimate outcome. And maybe the reason why it is worth it to balance all this and to do the work to keep that balance, because your emotional happiness is at stake. Yeah, I see that you're healing a broken heart. We all have different reasons for that, but this is what the healing is. This energy has been coming through for a while in all of the readings. This is a chakra, I believe, that an energy center. Chakras are spinning energies within the body. That's all a chakra is. It's the spinning of that energy within that center of your being. And the heart chakra is kind of the center of the alignment. So a lot of disappointments can hit us at a heart level that we are not even aware of. We learn to kind of like suck it up or ignore it. But when you're connecting with your creative process, a lot of those repressed emotions come back up. So you might have had a disappointment from childhood even, that as you're painting a picture, all of a sudden you have this flooding neuron response in your brain and your body, remembering this event. You remembered drawing a really cool picture, and then your classmates hating you because you knew how to draw and they didn't, or something. I don't know. I'm just making up a story. But there can be a lot of different reasons that you have repressed emotions. And like, for instance, I'll share, I'll be vulnerable with you. When I was a child in first grade, my best friend used to pinch me. Every time I got awarded by the teacher or had any positive attention for anything that I was doing well, if I stood out in any way, she would get jealous and pinch me. And I was very shy and passive, and I was afraid to speak up about it. I would just, I don't know, I guess I started closing up more and I think it was at a young age. So I learned to hide my strengths. I thought it was safer to do that. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do think that happened at a very young age. So we have a lot of reasons behind. We have a lot of suppressed hurts through our life that can come up when we're doing anything creatively, because it's pulling. Your subconscious is a big part of your creative expression. And this is why I believe that our society sometimes is afraid to be creative. I know that sounds crazy, but it's almost like we have such a destructive mainstream media. I mean, look at the news. It's always talking about death and destruction, or it just, a lot of destruction makes the news, basically. But the creative energy is just as important. And so what you're feeding is subconsciously, subliminally, that's part of the language that you're creating in your life. And that's going to come up for you. Whatever you've repressed, you're going to have to deal with. We've got the Two of Pentacles. This is standing on momentum. This is standing on what you have built and building actively. The Two of Pentacles is very important. It's very balanced building. It can often signify a partnership of some sort, in a myriad of ways. But this is what's coming through. The Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. You're still letting go of endings, letting go of loose, coming out of your head. The Eight of Swords. So mentally, and then into the Eight of Wands. Yeah, so that you can finally free yourself into expression. This is a very freeing card, the Eight of Wands, coming back to the Wands. But letting all of these, any past hurt or endings of any sort, let things go, donate items, get rid of things, allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to come out of your head. This card is all about that. Be the Eight of Swords is being stuck in your own process in a way that holds you back. Instead, turn it into the Eight of Wands, which is all about expression. It's about feeling free in a safe way, too, to express yourself. She's enjoying a flight in the clouds of the sky in this multi-umbrella process here. She's probably, if you think about it, if you had a bunch of parachuting umbrellas and you were holding them and jumping, this would be impossible to do in real life. But this is fantasy life here. This is symbolic language. So she's jumping out and she's got how many umbrellas here, right? And she's coasting and kind of feeling really safe and buoyant and being able to express that. And then I'm going to end it at this. Well, I'm going to draw a few clarifiers and then end it. But this is the theme that we're ending on. It's the Chariot. How great. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer and it moves one direction. This is a slow chariot in this picture, so take your time. This is on a snail. But it's nonetheless progressing forward and it's moving forward. The wheels this is being true to your path. Whatever the timing. Do you notice that she has a snail shell for her hat or her head? It's like going into that process too, that inward thinking, that spiral of dreams and memories, but moving forward, not letting it hold you back. Okay. And then this is what you're walking into. So from the Two of Pentacles, this is from earth to water, and the Two of Cups. How beautiful. So this is all about being able to partner, to be able to have the balance between the masculine and the feminine. In Jungian psychology, they call this anima and animus. And it's a balancing act, and it's really important in what we do. So that's why we have this almost Gemini looking picture of the twins. Okay. I'm going to draw some clarifiers and wrap up this reading. Thank you so much for even connecting with this reading today. It's just a spontaneous read. I'm going to do some Rider-Waite. Yeah, so you are coming out of Oh, here's, okay. I drew 4 at once, so I'm feeling a lot of different feelings about these. So you're coming out of kind of a competitive time where maybe you had to compete for even having time to do what you love, or to compete for, to have the attention that you needed for what you're doing, or to even compete with people in your life for them to respect what you're doing. There's many different ways to look at this card, but you're balancing this with your head and your heart. You're calling judgment on this. And this is the 4 of Cups, coupled with the 2 of Pentacles. Again, the 2 of Pentacles is coming through with judgment. Judgment is a major arcana, so it's going to take over the focus, I guess you would say. And in tarot language, the major arcana is always going to supersede. But this is the overall energy of this, is having judgment, having sound of mind to know how to judge your own approach. This is also another 4 being stuck in your head again, the 4 of Swords. And then we have the King of Wands. Wow, that's nice. The King of Wands coming through is much like the sun being in the center of the reading. It's very fiery and passionate, charismatic, and kind of authoritative on the creative. It's feeling creatively very strong. And the Queen of Wands. This is great. Okay, so we've got the King and the Queen of Wands. This is very balanced. And this is what we're going for, is the balanced creative energy. Again, the 10 of Cups. I'm going to end it on this. This is what you're going for. This is the ultimate happiness. I'm going to leave this picture for you. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing and climbing clouds. Let's get to our emotional happiness.